laying back, looking at my phone, looking at the disgraceful messages you guys all send me.
Bunch of grubs.
Bunch of grubs.
Oh, chips. We're on.
We're hot.
We're hot.
Hello, are you doing YouTube?
Yeah.
Hello, Fanatics.
The tubes.
Lenny, Gibbo, and Wally, your Tuesday night carpet grass club. We just had a big feed. Taco pie. How good's taco pie?
Yep. Oh,
And what else do we have? Chips. We've got some dips there that just spectacular. We might even dip some sherbies in some of that Dutch curry.
how good.
It's that good.
How good.
Right. What's the plan of attack for tonight, lads?
Oh, well. Firstly, welcome, boys. We haven't been in Lenny's garage for a long time.
No, it's been
Feels
a month.
like, was it a month?
Four weeks.
4
yeah.
weeks,
So,
and it's cold in here now.
yeah. Obviously, last time we were live to you guys was at the AS Tamay conference with good old Dean, which was a lot of fun over the last few days.
He's a great guy.
Got some great stories out of that. Some of them not carpet grass worthy.
Oh, so with the last one we did, there were audio issues. The mics are working fine. Pretty sure it was because we were trying to stream.
We were hotspotting.
Hotspotting off my phone.
Oh,
so
so the internet was no good.
I think the iPhone ran out of talent. So
We'll blame that on 5G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried it.
yeah, the 5G system hadn't had its COVID vax or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Benny's saying hello, Gary's saying hello, and Paul Gravestocks.
Shout out to Gary. That was a classic little model.
The birthday
Gary.
cake. Happy 50th birthday, Gary, for the weekend,
50th,
mate.
Gazza. Massive.
Mate, one of the best cakes I've ever seen in my life. That was bloody good. Did you see it, Gibbo?
Yeah. Awesome.
So good.
Absolutely awesome.
It's went up on the Instagram this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the little topper, but I didn't see the full cake. So
Yeah, I'll show
maybe
you.
put it
that's
up on the
amazing.
page as well.
Yeah.
It's a classic
Yeah, I
page
can
share.
do that.
Pretty good. All right. So yeah, obviously ASMA conference was awesome. Thanks for the invite, Wally. By the way, that was bloody awesome. I loved every second of it. There you go.
Oh wow, that is massive.
Yeah.
So good. So as always, we're going to start off with a bit of sport chat.
Yep.
Oh hey Rory, he's on here too.
Oh, the Raw Dog.
Yeah, the Raw Dog,
Who's leaving
the
us?
new apprentice. So obviously I don't get to say this very much, but come on the Broncos! Finally cracked it over the Sharks. So Toddy, if you're watching, suck eggs. But yeah, what a performance, particularly for me, Payne Haas, that last.
Oh, that massive, the big slap
where he
down.
slapped it out and
Yeah.
just that was the end of the game.
Is that your
for me.
2023 captain? You reckon?
Oh, surely.
Surely even next year,
Probably
maybe.
going to be great.
I think Reynolds will get the captaincy, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
But you needed
As
mature,
long as it's
you
not
need a
Alex
mature
Glenn.
man to do that.
Alex Glenn has to retire. I'm
He
afraid.
is. He is. He's retiring.
Although Alex Glenn did some impressive
He
things
did.
on the weekend.
First time in ages.
Yeah, just probably how we expect the Broncos to play every week, and they
Yeah.
finally played.
I
how we
finally got a
expected.
kicking game, so it
Yeah.
makes a lot of difference when
Yeah.
you're on the front foot.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm so stoked because I happen to have all my family there for Kyne's birthday, and we all sat and watched the footy instead of his birthday.
Yeah, nice.
In a bit of trouble there.
Benny Cameron, no, Wally hasn't slept since the conference because he's got a baby girl at home and she does not sleep well. So, which means Wally doesn't sleep well.
But mostly because of the conference, the
Mostly
excitement
because
of the conference. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
Karthik. G'day, Karthik. He's on here too. G'day from Sydney, gents. How are
How's
you, mate?
the lockdown going? Like, what kind of lawn lockdown work do you guys do?
Yeah, let's talk.
when it's that bad. You know,
Can I say he does a lot of TikTok work?
he does.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
He's a TikTok master.
He's a master on
Yeah,
TikTok.
right.
Karthik.
Hand trimming edges.
No, he's got a landscape blade.
Oh,
G'day, Chris. Max is going Red Bull in particular going very well this year.
Wow.
They seem to have Mercedes number at the moment, but the tracks probably suit them a little bit. So we'll see what happens when
I
they get
saw.
to.
Karthik's up your Instagram, not TikTok, he reckons.
Mate,
I
please.
saw-
Come on, we've
I
seen
saw-
I've got the evidence.
I saw the post. I can't remember what it was on. It might have been the Formula One page, and Roy and HG had commented, "I feel sick" about Max Verstappen.
the Verstappen Award. Verstappen. I love Roy HG. Let me just say, the Sunday Fat is stolen directly from Roy HG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Well,
The best was their commentary in the 2000 Olympics.
Oh,
There was no
stop
better
it.
time.
Yeah.
well, do
Brilliant.
they still commentate on the Origins? Or
Nah,
not?
they
Nah.
have. ABC didn't do it.
Didn't pick it
before
up.
I'll listen to
They
their-
used to do it on Triple M, didn't they? So
I started listening to their podcast, pretty much the conclusion of like the summer season of cricket. I was just Saturday Arvos would listen to the podcast, and it was in the height of like once we started going into COVID last year, and it was the rugby league.
Rugby
no
league.
end of Landers.
yeah,
No
big
end of-
time, big time. The commentary of the gymnastics at the 2000 Olympics, the battered Sabs and
Oh, the Hello Boys.
Yeah, hello boys. Yeah, classic. Classic. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just continue with our sport report. So what else has been happening? Young bloke won the PGA
Yep.
event.
Cameron
Cameron
Davis. No.
Yeah.
Chris Davis?
Chris-
I don't know. He's a Davis.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning in the US. So yeah,
Cameron
well done to
Davis.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge win.
Huge win.
Cameron Davis.
I think he hit a driver off the deck,
Oh, did you see?
310 meters or something,
Yeah.
310
From,
yards.
from
so
the middle of the fairway.
you just take whatever that is.
And then
Yeah.
he come out of a bunker into the hole to get himself in the playoff or something like that.
That's right. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, he
and
went
then it was the
straight in.
5-hole playoff to win. So
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Pretty,
Huge effort.
pretty
Cam
good.
Davis, that's him. Yeah.
Cam Smith and Leash, fellow fanatic, going to the Olympics as the Australian golf team. I think that is fantastic. Bit
Massive.
happy about that. So
Speaking
they
of leash,
should dominate pretty well on that.
is that public knowledge yet, Lenny?
What's that?
Leash in the, or is that not?
Yeah, no, well, we've been saying about the stripe off.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeremy from the US, who does the Greener Lawn Instagram and
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube. He does a stripe off comp every year, and last year we smoked the rest of the world.
Is there any golfers from the states that would get on board and could VS Leash?
They'd be losers.
That could be. Yeah, they will be losers. That this,
Yeah.
But we got a bit of banter going on and off with Leash when he's got time. You know, he's a pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Does love his lawn though.
he loves his lawn. So he commented a bit back with us in private message, and we tagged him in the announcement video for the Green Lawn guys. And then he started doing stripes on his lawn because he said he
The
got
next
challenged to a
morning.
comp
Yeah,
The
or
right.
next
something. So
morning.
the Yanks have all freaked out.
Yeah.
Because they tried to claim him as American because he's living in America.
Yeah,
So
kind of
Lenny
bored.
got on there and just was like, nah,
No, not
he's
that.
the most Aussie guy ever. So
Yeah.
you're not stealing him.
Well, they were, and to counter that, they said, "Righto, we're going to get Ryan Knorr involved and Connor Ward." And I said, "That's fine. I'm going to break the glass and pull out Simon Rice and Ben Sims."
Oh, mate. If,
And they're gone. Oh, well,
if
well,
that's
hang on a
if
minute.
that's the case, I'll go and lease some space down at Redlands and we'll have a pretty good crack because I'm that keen.
You do it
Yeah.
at my
Yeah.
house.
All right,
Well,
let's
even-
do it. We're on here.
I even messaged Rice. He said, "Have you put your entry in yet?" And he's gone, "No." I said, "Well, pull your finger out."
Yeah, hurry up, mate.
No, I'm going full hectic this year. Actually, just quietly. I've made a call. I'm just gonna either glypho or selective, and either go like full blue cooch seed, or full Rio seeded Bermuda, which is what.
Just lay so Grange turf.
Oh no, not like.
On the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, so the inside
I
yard.
was just having
Yeah.
an absolute panic moment
No, no.
inside then, like,
No.
you're talking about Gallipoli on
No,
lawn
no.
you
This
laid
is like
4 months
this is
ago.
like 240 odd squares of nature.
Yeah, I
strip.
remember now.
I'm going full soaker hose. Redneck irrigation. It's all happening.
Perfect.
Doing it.
Good straight deck irrigation. Clean didn't heave it.
Yeah, clinch.
Well, Clint, if you want to design a little Cusso setup for it,
Can't say.
you're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'd love it.
I wish I had done that. So.
We actually got a grass question. Hey guys, are there any broadleaf weed killers that are carpet grass safe? Well, yeah, if you're a bunny shopper, go and get Buffalo Pro or Buffalo Master. If you order online, go and get Bow and Arrow.
Who is this unicorn carpet grass lover?
Oh, mate,
Mate, we've had some good
I
ones.
know.
You see the one the
I
other
know.
day where they
Oh,
buy like
there's some-
1,500 squares?
he gets a like, Alistair. You get a like because carpet grass is the king.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
why we're here. Yeah, Merc have updates coming for Silverstone, but I'm sure Red Bull too. Dean says hello. Speaking of Origin,
And Williams.
how about them Blues?
How about them? They got all their players out. We might get a crack.
Impressive, very impressive.
They have been impressive. There's no
I
way
think
they're
what's
very
impressive is the talk about the best backline. I think it's up there. Like it's definitely, it might be on par. But what's impressive is the 8 in a row that Queensland did, and they managed to do it with injuries here and there. So if Blues can do that and get through it, that's what is the true marking of like an impressive.
I think Queensland's team this time is the best team they've had in 2 years, but I still don't know if it'll be enough.
Yeah. No, it's difficult. Like they've got like Appy Coruscant coming in, a fella who's probably been knocking on the door. Like
For
players
years.
go out, players come in, and they take the chance. Like they're that good.
Well, you look at poor Jared Croker, for instance.
Yeah.
One of the he's the 4th highest scoring NRL player of all time,
The New
and
South
still got
Wales
years
captain.
left. Knocking on the door, and he can't get in as a centre into the New South Wales team because they've got 3 fullbacks playing in the one team.
Yeah.
Like it's like he must just.
Well,
sit
to be
there
fair,
and it's like-
Latrell's got a lot of experience as a centre.
Oh,
and
correct.
He was a very, very good centre.
Yeah.
Speaking of like allegiances and state allegiances, like wasn't there some funny thing with Mitchell Moses early on because they weren't sure if he was.
Yeah, he was meant to be Queensland.
Yeah. So like it's funny. Like speaking of allegiances, like you see the way the All Blacks absolutely hammered Tonga on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like that's so bad for the game. I think the NRL have been really good at more lately, like being good at saying to players like you're still eligible to play for New South Wales or Australia if you want to play for your like where you're actually from.
They've done that for a number of World Cups.
Yeah.
Like was it Tony Carroll played for Australia for a while, and then he went to play for New Zealand. And then in the end he was playing for one of the Pacific Island nations.
I think one of the best games I saw, I think it was Tonga versus Kiwis, and it was I feel like it was in Tonga or it was in New Zealand, and they had the whole crowd was in red it was in their colours, and they were all singing like all the songs, and it was just crazy atmosphere, like so good for the game.
If Cootsee's been in a garage for 2 years, will it be okay to use?
Not ideal. Generally, like the rule of thumb, and it's like a bit of a thing, but every year of storage of anything seed, you lose about 30% of your germination rate. So it's like it might start at like 85, above 85, it might go from 85 to 55 down to 25.
Yeah.
So your strike rate will go down.
You'll still get a bit, but yeah.
Yes, it was, Chris. Tony Carroll knee and the ref in the back of the head was the best.
Oh, that was
brutal,
sickening. Yeah.
What a hit.
And Benny, yes, you're right. Jared Croker is the carpet grass of rugby league. He's a hidden gem that just keeps getting overlooked.
Who else is there though? There's probably that many players there that have been overlooked for over the years.
Yep.
Yeah,
pretty hectic. And what about the Dragon saga, boys? What do you reckon? Paul Vaughan contract torn up. You think it's deserved?
Yep.
I think
he's got form. Like last year, he went to a cafe when he shouldn't have gone to a cafe and ordered a coffee and gave a fake name. And they went, "That's not your name, mate. Your name's Paul Vaughan. We know who you are." And he got in trouble for that. And didn't learn a lesson.
No.
Mate, look, if someone makes a mistake, fair enough. Look, give him a bit of forgiveness and whatever. But if you're dumb enough to keep doing the same thing,
the thing is, he knew he was already in trouble with the club anyway. Like there's breaches everywhere for other things. And I saw someone say, if you have someone that's an Australian player and a New South Wales player, but isn't in the leadership team of your club, that says a lot about him.
There's something wrong.
There's something that tells you a lot about him. And I was like, well, that is a big shock.
It's easy to like from the outside looking in, but like I think just it is what it is. You know, like it's not fair for anyone. Like irrespective of if you're a high profile sports person, versus just the average Joe. Like if they have the rules are there for a reason. Like, and it's not just about being like sticking to the rules. It's about following those rules for everyone else. You know, like there's a reason they tell you to lock down. Like
correct.
They don't want, you know, there's a reason they take so many days to get out of it. Like, it's all worked out mathematically.
Yeah.
Like.
And then lastly, we've got the Wallabies playing the French tomorrow night in an absolute belter. He's not happy. We've had this conversation.
Are you not happy with the team?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Mate, it's like the Reds didn't win the comp.
I know.
You know, like they hammered most teams all year,
I know.
and the Reds front row demolished the Brumbies every scrum.
And it's Brumbies.
And it's the Brumbies front row apart from the Reds hooker. Like,
Yeah.
Daniela Tupou, like what?
He's
Like,
named
seriously,
18.
How does he not? Yeah.
He's the
And
reserve
how did
tight
Tate
end prop.
McDermott?
Yeah.
Oh, look, Tate hasn't got an overly good pass. I think.
But I don't think.
I think he's a kid.
The other
He's
thing
got
is
a lot of
like
improvement in. He's running around the field. He's really good though.
we don't know what style. Like, we kind of do know Rennie's style. Like, it's very structured, and so maybe that's just the team. Like, Brumbies definitely are a structured side. Like, they do have the the Brumbies defence coach.
Well,
In
the
there,
forwards coach is now the Wallabies forwards coach.
Yeah, so like it's a lot of back scratching, but it's also
Dan
like
McKellar. Yeah.
it's probably like fitting with a certain style. So it's probably like this defensive
Yep.
mindset of that, and it's like box kicking, which probably, that's his best attribute.
Well, they've gone with Jake Gordon to start, who's a Waratah.
Yeah,
Well, the Waratahs, they couldn't beat the bloody Norman Park under 7s.
can box kick, but
Like a man.
I think that's I don't know, like it's weird. It's hard to know.
Kyan said to say hi, guys.
Hi, Kyan.
Hi, Kyan.
Happy
How are you?
birthday, mate.
Happy birthday for the Sunday.
Big
birthday.
4-year-old. You're going to be shaving soon.
Yeah.
Yep. You'll
No,
have a
don't
beard.
shave. Get a beard, mate.
You'll have a
Gotta get
beard with the boys.
That's right, with the boys.
The boys get a beard. Apparently, he was asking about beers the other day. Can he have beers?
Yeah. He said, I'm so hungry for beers, Dad.
Oh, you've taught him well.
I'm so hungry for so many beers. Renee just looked at me and was like, you monster. But I don't send him to get them out of the fridge. I'm very reserved with that. I'm not that kind of dad. So, yeah, I would get shot if I did that. So
Yeah, Jeff Lee's moved into a house that had a boat parked on the lawn for a long time. Where the boat was is hard dirt with moss all over it. Doesn't get much sun. How do I get the lawn to grow back? Are you near the ocean or was it fresh water? Because if they've washed the boat on that spot and it's full of salt,
It could be too, like, obviously, it's holding moisture. Yeah, it could be like salt. It could be holding moisture. Could be that the sun angle's lower and come springtime it'll get higher and you get more sun in that area. So, but anything you do now, you're better off probably waiting till springtime
spring.
to have a crack at it. The moss will go if you clear it up a bit,
Tree
plug
it right
into it, and
Near the ocean he is.
okay. And would you wash the boat there?
With yeah. Well, he's just moved into the house, so
Okay, yeah. What's the main prominent lawn type? Is it
It's a
Queensland blue or
velveteen.
something? Well, yeah,
Central.
or Zoysias handle it.
Yeah.
But what you find at the ocean, because of the sandy profile, is blue cooch. But if he's too far south, like depends where he is.
yeah.
Like if he's really far south, there's some native Zoysias that are quite good.
Yeah.
And some of those cool season, like the fescues, really salt tolerant. You just got to get them established enough before they actually show their traits. Like some of those are the most salt tolerant grasses you can get.
yeah.
Cool
You might
season.
benefit from just starting with a analytical soil test
Yeah. Yep.
in Mandurah, Western
Mandurah.
Australia. Mandurah.
Yeah.
Western Australia.
South of Perth.
You're our geography expert because you have
So
lived.
probably-
You've been
I've
kicked
been
out
everywhere,
of
man.
share houses all over this
You'd
place.
probably,
and abroad.
it'd probably be a Kikuyu lawn then.
No,
Kyle
it says cooch.
It's cooch, is
He
it?
thinks.
All right, it'll come back. Just wait for the summer and then grow it
Yeah,
back.
see
Cooch
what
is
happens.
quite salt tolerant.
Yeah.
Hydroseeding.
Mm.
What are your thoughts? Probably depends on what they're seeding
That's right.
and where.
I a couple of roles ago, I worked on a project that was funded by the turf industry, and it was using turf for erosion control to like open up the market for turf. And one of the comparators was hydroseeding. So I looked at hydroseeding for probably like 2.5, 3 years.
Wow.
The ins and outs of it. Really like quite good and economical for really what it is. Like there's no better way. Like if you have the capability of hydroseeding your lawn as opposed to just seeding it,
You do
and
it.
you're not worried about the material like getting out of it and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
Anthony did it in his back paddock.
Yeah.
Sheldon.
Benny Sims did it on bloody YouTube.
So I used to
At
work
his
with
brother's house.
PGG Wrightson. So like a lot of the seeds you buy at like Bunnings and even like some of the ryegrasses and stuff are probably either bred or come out of PGG and DLF
Yep.
who owns PGG. PGE have their own division that do hydromulch, and they've gotten this biotic soil media, so they can go to like really bad sites, like really bad soil, and almost like spray this stuff on, and then sow into it, and then they spray like this fiber matrix over the top, and it's generally like a wood fiber with like tackifiers and stuff. Still allows the water in, but it just gives it that protection under like really high velocity rainfall.
Right.
And so you can get germination of rye in like, 3, 4, 5 days. In really bad quality soils.
Rochelle's on acreage.
Yeah. Okay. Generally, like a cheaper.
Look, if it didn't work, they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
The companies wouldn't do it.
A cheaper hydroseed mix is generally, from what I've heard, it's anything from 50 to 80 cents a square meter.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be like a paper mix, so it'll break down more quickly.
Yeah.
And then depending where you are, it's probably going with a good, a higher rate of warm season grass.
Yeah.
And doing it at the right time of year.
Yeah.
Because generally what you do, like what you pay for mainly, is the bond matrix, the seed, but the seed is like only a small part of the variable cost. So go for a better seed, better long term.
Yeah. Because you get to pick your seed,
Yeah. And you can pick your blend. Talk to whoever's doing the hydroseeding, and they will have done hydroseeding probably within that area.
Yeah.
And know the right blends for that area.
Chris, we'll see what we can do. What, sorry?
That's the follow-up to that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Benny. Yeah, good point. Jono, you've seen on the
Carpet
Grass Club a couple of times. He is a big lawn fanatic and a beer fanatic. Loves his beer, loves his tins,
and fans,
and fans. He runs the OnlyFans group on Facebook. Fantastic read. He also does the what was it? Yeah, doesn't matter. Anyway, he's doing Dry July, which I think is
huge.
That's a massive undertaking.
That's a massive undertaking.
It's probably
for someone who loves beers like he does.
Australia's first and only time you'll ever see such a big undertaking.
Yeah, that's it. So, Jono, you are a legend. If you're thinking of supporting someone with Dry July, our mate Jono Cox is doing it, and he's the man. I'll see if I can find.
Yeah, Jono, if
share
you're
it on the
online,
page.
we'll share it for you. So
Yeah.
we'll get up there. So.
Because he is.
I just donated, so that means I can drink. So.
He's even searching around for a decent tasting non-alcohol beer.
Oh, and he said he almost found one.
Yeah.
And he almost didn't believe
make
it.
him vomit.
He said it was like a utopia, but it's unheard of.
Really?
It's like a. I
Yeah.
see this. Made a decision going full organic on the lawn this summer. Nothing but chicken feed and molasses going down.
I think he's being
Interesting.
smart ass.
No, but that's like because there are. I know there's a golf course like that was near the conference, and it was in one of the ASTMA journals. Nadeem, if you're watching, you could probably even comment what golf course it is. This super committed to going full organic 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
right.
has decided to do it and played a hard line. And it's the kind of thing where you're going to get pests, you're going to get things, and you just have to bear the brunt of eventually things find their equilibrium. So, like, I'll give you a perfect example. My dad's got Queensland Blue Cooch. Feeds a little bit with some of the ferts and stuff I give him. Does not put insecticide down at all. And he kind of feeds enough to not overfeed, but enough to get good relative quality and colour.
Yep.
Gets a little bit of dull spot here and there, but not that much. And he doesn't really get much grub damage at all.
Right.
Because certain times of the year he'll have families of magpies and they will just eat everything. They will eat every grub
I'm
under
lucky
the
like
sun.
that. I've got some good bird life around mine.
Yeah.
As soon as I mow, there's butcher birds and maggies that they come because the worm castings, I've had them real bad this year.
Yeah.
But it not top off.
Wow.
It's hilarious to watch. But
Yeah.
they obviously hear my mower from all over the neighbourhood and they're like, Gibbo's mowing. Just
Yeah.
congregate.
Yeah, it's almost like you've created that scenario. Like it's almost you've trained them to.
Yep.
For that's what it is.
Yeah.
I've seen at football ovals, Corellas eat all the nutgrass out.
Yep.
So there are like nature does find a way. Like if you want to manage it that way.
I wish I could manage the Corellas eating our golf holes at Windaroo. They are we got to the point now where some of our golf holes I like the neck of that
Oh,
carafe.
I think-
like they're meant to be that round, but they're all spread out the top.
Because Windaroo's all Kai fairways, isn't it?
Kai fairways, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's probably half the battle. Is Kaiku probably brings them, and then it's almost like they are just an animal that will feed
Yeah.
destructively.
yeah.
So it like
Horrendous.
that's probably controlling them through species.
Yeah.
You know, it might be it's crazy, but like planting around a fringe around your hole that's wide enough to go like once they get to the end of that fairway or whatever, they feed there rather than on the green, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris,
I'll
I'll
let you
try.
know.
I'll see if I can get you an ICL hat.
Oh, yeah.
I'll post a link to Jono's Dry July in the group, in the Fanatics group. So if you're able to support Jono, please do.
Polyhalite certified organic in other countries as well.
Yeah.
Is it really?
So what's in maintenance? Yeah.
I love that word. I heard it so many times at the conference. I've just fallen in love with the word. Polyhalite. It's just-
Mind underneath the English Channel.
Yes.
I've heard it a number of times too.
Correct. Yep.
So what else did we get up to at the conference?
We saw some
Saw
100% electric mowers.
Yep, the Cub Cadet.
Yeah.
What
What was that green thing? Green
Machine, was
the
it?
green machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I loved was that fully automated spray rig, the one with the drones.
Oh, the drones.
But the drones were cool, but the way that they could map out entire properties with this sprayer and just went about its business spraying whole things.
Yeah, vineyards and stuff like
I,
that.
was
Big
t-
orchards.
I actually ran into our golf superintendent from Windaroo at the time they were looking at, and they were mad keen. They were just like, this would save us so many man hours
Yeah.
of doing it. But those drones, how good.
You could one operator controls 5 at a time.
Yeah.
5 of those
They
drones.
call it. That's like swarm. I know, like QT. We were looking at it a couple of years ago. Similar thing, using image signaturing for
Yep.
weeds,
Mhm.
and that rather than have like one large robot that does it, you have like 10 small robots.
Yep.
That it ends up being way more lean, efficient. Like
Yeah.
same thing with drones, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've been following those guys on Instagram since, and some of the properties that they're spraying with
Yeah.
those drones, and like spraying like dam surrounds and stuff, where they used to
Yeah.
have to get in boats, spray it off the boats and stuff. Now they're just whipping these drones.
Well,
over.
see, you think about even like mustering and stuff. Like I know you can do bird control. Like we
Yeah.
mentioned birds before.
Yeah.
I know, like out at the station I used to work at, we used to use a drone, and it had a
Chris
signaling.
is saying he's got a bird scarer from that they use at the vineyards he works at in a
Yeah.
personal way.
Yeah, you
I
attach.
think Johnny Lush has that at the vineyard too. Come to think of it, I think
It goes on the.
he mentioned
It
that
goes
to
on a
me.
drone and
Is
it,
that-
it emits like a high pitched signal.
It's a TV.
Oh,
Bloody TV down.
anyway,
Anyway.
50 question. This is good. Thank you, Karthik, because we're about to go to that subject. On low-cut grass like golf greens, would fungicides be applied as preventative, or is it only applied when there's evidence of fungus?
Preventatively, normally, but see,
A good nutrition program
yeah,
can help
minimise.
minimize the need to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So, like to give you an idea, like I know like the company I work for, and I'm not going to mention names, but I'll just give you an example. Like for the last probably 15 years, we've been looking at, because what's happened in Europe, they've phased out a lot of the active ingredients in terms of fungicides.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Let's manage turf to be healthier just by
Yeah.
using better nutrition, delivering it properly over the periods of time that you need to, better surfactants. And so that's what we've been doing, a lot of trial work on how to deliver that nutrition to get away without having to use fungicides.
Yeah.
And so what you'll find is fungicides might form part of the program, particularly like maybe a preventative at the right time of year. But if you get your nutrition right, you get your profile right, so you don't have too much organic matter in the profile or whatever. You get your surfactant use right, so like if you get a heavy rain event, you could use a penetrant or something. You'll find that you won't need to use fungicide as much, and maybe a curative, like as bad as it sounds, maybe a curative at the odd time might be okay. But what you'll find is most of the time, even if you do get signs of disease, like whether it be dollar spot or something, your turf's already really healthy, and it'll spring out of that if you give it a little bit of nitrogen, or
Yep.
you can grow a lot of the disease out more easily. So
Yeah.
So obviously we're seeing in southeast Queensland after this rain, and we're seeing a lot of posts about dollar spot over the last few days.
Oh, mate, hell, mate.
Yeah.
I think it's just the moisture, like,
Yeah.
and it's actually been like as cold as it's been like kind of humid. It's like cool.
It's
and
only
humid.
this last couple of days it's actually getting cool. Like there's still
Yeah.
grubs around because it's just not cold enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Michelle the other day, and she said that she's still seeing grub issues, like because
Yeah.
it's just not cold enough yet.
Yeah.
Not in southeast Queensland.
Yeah.
Bloody moving blankets falling to bits over here.
I think the other thing that we've seen a lot on the page is like the Poa annua question come up, and
Yeah.
like endothel not working. We had Nadeem on the last Q&A,
Yeah,
and he
there's
mentioned
perennial and there's annual.
different
types of
and
winter
also
grass.
like there's so many different genotypes, like and because it has such a short life cycle, it can mutate and become resistant to herbicides,
Yeah.
Yep.
particularly things like endothel. But I think part of the keystone of managing any weeds is pre-emergent herbicides.
Yeah.
Like you listen to
100%.
every
Stop them before they get a chance to grow.
100%, and it's not just like exactly like it is following the label exactly, but it's also like if it says it gives you like 6 months of longevity, they always talk about like looking at the bookends. Like
Yeah.
don't
gotta
believe
ramp up
100%
and it ramps
6
out.
months. Go
Yeah.
like 6 months, but maybe I should apply it like five and a half
yeah.
months,
Mm.
and that's my re-app. And maybe it's a different active ingredient as well.
You could usually time those things with like an acelerin application too.
100%. If you look at the tank mixability of Acelepryn and Barricade or whatever, as
Well,
an
they're made by
example,
the same company. They're
Yeah.
basically designed to go
you
down
can take
together, aren't they?
and you can
So-
tank mix them with a good surfactant as
Mm.
well, so you're getting like 3 things at once,
Yep.
and it's good timing, you
Yeah.
know.
Chris is saying about the new shirts, the long sleeve sun shirts we're going to do.
Ooh, yeah.
They're the same. So it's my green ones, my work shirts, and I wear these in the sun all day, every day, and they don't fade.
I've got one as well.
They're
and,
awesome.
Like
You got
I mow my
I don't know where it
all
is.
the
Can't
time.
find it.
I wear it fishing.
Somewhere.
They're honestly so cool in the summertime.
They're cold
Like,
in winter.
They're cool
you
in
gotta wear
winter,
yeah.
but in the summertime there is no better thing for working
Mm.
outside. Yeah, like I'm actually pasty white, like you can see. Son and me don't get along most of the
No.
time, except when I'm on the golf course. But I need to cover up because I reckon I would be getting some spots cut out if I didn't wrap up. But yeah, they're available on the merch shop on the Australian Lawn Fanatics website. They are via pre-sale, is that right?
Yeah, pre-sale at the moment because just that's
They
an
cost a
expensive
lot.
thing for me to buy because I've got to buy basically 60 shirts, and I don't have that sort of dollars. So.
Yeah. But
So we'll sell them until the end of this month, and then I'll take them down off the website, and then we'll order the ones we need.
Yeah.
And then get them in.
yeah, and like obviously we've got a lot of female Fanatic series, pink ones as well.
Oh, it dudes, if you want to buy a
Yeah.
pink one, you're more than welcome.
Nay's requested a pink one, but also there's a lot of things coming up that you got to think about. There's Father's Day coming up, Christmas presents, things like that.
Yep.
A lot of people go to toy shops and put their stuff on lay-by for their kids at this time of year.
Yep.
Get your man or your wife onto the Fanatic store to pre-book your shirts. I think that would be a good idea.
Yep. Price includes shipping in
Yeah.
Australia. So
Yeah.
and it's like $10 basically. A satchel that they fit in costs $10 to ship. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I reckon $80 is alright. If you go to BCF, you go to Anaconda, anything like that, any good quality fishing sun shirt is going to be around that mark anyway. And you get to support the Fanatics and everything we do. So
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool. Thank you for that, Chris, bringing that up.
Yeah, good on you, man. Thoughts on the Allet mowers? Oh, yeah, to be honest, I'd rather not comment on something that I haven't played with.
Yeah.
And we are talking to ADE Equipment about a summer giveaway at the moment. So
Keep your eyes
Yeah, well-
peeled, people. That's going to be a cracker.
I think part of that's probably a test.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
test
Test
it.
and
We
try.
honestly do. There's
Yeah.
it's hard to comment unless you've actually really played
Are
with it.
they like the what was the old Qualcast in the UK?
No,
Or
they were
Ellet's Allet?
they were the Rover Kensington
Oh, okay.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
But the new ones that are coming out,
The
they've
new
got an option
battery-based?
between petrol and lithium battery. So
The new lithium ones, but there are the new ones.
So
are
they have all the
cartridge.
cartridges.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it still
it's
that
a cartridge
nylon
system.
cog?
No.
yeah, but it is.
Oh,
The
is it?
nylon cog is your fail safe. Like if you get a bolt or something jammed in the reel, that'll strip out.
Yeah.
Rather
the-
than
like the
running
belt.
everything.
Yeah,
Instead of
okay.
a belt, they've got a nylon.
Yeah.
But that's your fail safe if something goes wrong.
That makes sense. It's probably easy to replace that.
Oh,
Could
for
be,
sure.
yeah.
It's one bolt, pop it off.
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
back on.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I suppose
actually
design-wise-
go through some stuff today.
Design-wise, yeah, very good. I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, over the next couple of months, we will have more info on you because we're definitely chatting to them going forward. Bradley Fernandez, where was Ben Hunt on Saturday night? Was he home with his friends or is he a hide and seek champion? Well, he had to be a hide and seek champion after the 2015 grand final because the whole of Brisbane hated him. But I think he'd already had the call to say he was in the Origin team, so I think he was on his best behaviour. Like that's a 30 grand payday for not going to your mate's party. Like
Yeah.
30 grand for Origin
Yeah.
plan.
Well,
And
it could have been hiding under the bed.
the best.
And the endorsements you get out of it.
Did that send again?
I don't know.
What's that?
No, I just saw an email pop up in here that email I accidentally sent it to them halfway through writing it. Anyway,
That's
No, no.
alright. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what happened? He was reaching for a Sherby,
I was reaching
Well,
for sure.
and
Speaking of
he's accidentally bumped the mouse, and it's entered, and he sent an
My
email.
life flashed before my eyes
The,
when I eat these.
He
How
printed,
good are they?
What's this? Just purchased some hydro... Is it hydro-retain or something? I'm guessing
hydrochain.
that's-
Oh, that's big in the US. They love that stuff.
What is it? Like
Oh,
a
it's
wedding agent?
Yeah.
What, granular or...
Nah, liquid.
It's Aussie developed.
Who's that by? SST or something?
No idea.
More info, Tiff Tough Coast. No, none of us have got experience with it.
Now, you used to test stuff, so you should have heard of it.
We can't talk because we've got mouthfuls of Sherbies. That was the wrong option.
Hydrochain. Australia.
OCP.
Okay.
Yeah, they're sticky, aren't they? They're a bit of a jaw locker.
They're good.
I
This
was
is
going
the
to
thing.
buy one within the year, tossing up between Mowmaster, Allet, or Swardman. We've had a Swardman. We played with that. Engineering-wise, it's a great design. I don't think they're heavy enough for a Kucha or a Kaikuyu lawn because they're only like 60 kilos for a 22-inch mower.
My thing about the Swordman is unless your lawn is immaculate, the aluminium reel, you hit one wrong thing with that, you're up to sharpen your reel.
Yeah.
And aluminium reel is only going to survive so many
Yeah.
sharpenings.
It's
My-
the
my
only
brother
criticism
recently got
I have.
one. Yes, it's
Yeah.
a Lamborghini of cylinder mowers. Look, you buy Aussie for Aussie conditions in those three mowers for me. You know,
Oh, look, I'm an unashamed bloody Mowmaster fan.
Mm.
I love them. I use them for my business.
For home.
I use it for home.
Yep.
I'm hoping my grandkids will be fighting over them.
yeah, they probably will.
There's a reason, like, you see most cricket clubs, existing tennis courts, all three of them in Australia. No.
Did you see-
all using Mowmaster.
You see
Like,
Lukey
it's
today
just-
posted the Mowmaster of them striping up the stadium with walk behind Mowmasters.
Yeah, well, see, they now even walk spread third as well. Like, and that's pretty standard practice in big
stadiums.
stadia
Yeah.
in Europe, is walk mine. Because you can get wide enough ones. I think, I'm not sure what size were those ones.
36.
Yeah.
Big dogs.
13th Beach, he has all Mowmaster gear too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got like
That's I think it's Harry's. No?
Harry, yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing the stadiums in Qatar for the
Yeah.
FIFA World Cup.
World Cup.
Yeah, okay.
How good. How good.
Is that hoodie as warm as it looks, Gibbo?
Yes.
Mate, for a
Ben
Queensland
Cameron.
winner, yeah, they're pretty good, mate.
I watched it for the first time the other day, and I just prayed that my partner didn't put them into the into the dryer, because I don't need my clothes to shrink anymore. They already look shrunk on me. They're husky gent sizes, Benny. You'd fit into this one nicely.
I just had a bad thought about you and Benny in the same hoodie.
Let's try that out, Benny Cameron. Hey,
It's on. Yeah, too much beard. Yeah, Benny accused you of doing something to his beard because he reckons it's gone dormant since he sat next to you.
I sprayed some PGR in it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
He hasn't eaten much
4XL.
Sherbies or something.
4XL looks shrunk on me. Yeah, you are a big.
There's another packet of Sherbies here too. We got
Did I talk it off to sleep? Maybe I
Maybe.
talked it. And then they realised all the leaves were brown.
Yep.
Oh, we'll leave that.
That'll sound good on. So another big one.
Jono,
post that went-
Lollies, yeah,
Oh,
she's here.
Jono, here we go. Post
just-
up your
I
link.
did. I posted it up. We just gave you a shout out, mate. You're the toughest man I know. You're
Yeah.
dead set up.
Yep. Dead set legend. Ben Cameron says, still love you all. The PGR post on the page the other day, where I can't remember who it was. They were saying that the PGR made their lawn go greener. I'd never heard of it. Couldn't believe for my own eyes. But turns out on certain types, terrains, cultivar, whatever,
A lot
can work.
of trial work shows and a lot of peer-reviewed scientific literature shows that actually just in isolation, trinexapac ethyl, which is the active ingredient in most of the PGRs we're using. Some of us might muck around with Paclo, doubt it. But a lot of it shows that it does improve the colour and the quality of turf grass alone. And then I think some people might see or make comment or see that it goes a bit yellow after it. It could be a rate thing, like it might be a bit higher rate where it's in the height of summer, or it could be just that cultivar is susceptible to that reduction in gibberellic acid synthesis.
Here we go. Tiff Tough Coast. I know he deals with rye quite a lot. Greens up with Primo at certain rates.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you got to think about, well, why is it greening up? I think, well, one thing, it's actually like slowing the plant down. It's not elongating as much, but also like if you're feeding two plots at the same rate with the same amount of nitrogen and other macros and micros, but then one you put plant growth regulator on at a rate and the other you don't, then you might have dropped that rate of growth by 30%.
Yeah.
And technically the rate of nutrition's gone up by 30%.
Correct.
Because it's reduced its growth by 30%,
Yeah.
but you've got more nutrition to draw on in how that plant senesces growth, so you will see that plant green up.
That's bloody good.
Jono said he's thirsty.
Jono Cox, we're joining you. We're on the H2O train for you tonight,
Yeah,
mate. I don't even have a
We're with you,
beer.
but well, I'm always
It's because
with
I had too many on Sunday and I'm still feeling it.
That's a classic little question. Been asked a million times, I know, but do you, this is from Karthik,
Karthik, yeah.
do you gents think groomer or verticut?
They do different things, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can use one for both and one for only. Is that right?
You can use all of them.
Yeah.
Well, you
A
can.
verti you can use to groom, but you can't use a groomer to verticat. Is that right?
Yeah,
So-
it's not suited to it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like the kind of width of the verti blade. You probably wouldn't use it to groom even. Like maybe on a coarser.
So a proper groomer, the blades are like a 1 mil thickness. They're really fine.
even thinner, like they're
Yeah,
almost
really
like
fine.
Stanley knife kind
They're
of.
just nicking
And
through
they-
the top of the
yeah,
canopy.
Yeah,
eh?
and they
Yeah.
don't. So, for example, if you were growing your grass at 10 mil, your cut height for a groomer would be 5 to 10 mil.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're only going through clipping the canopy.
Probably barely that. It's probably
That's
like,
maximum.
it's probably 8 to
Yeah.
8,
You're
like
only
8 or
going
9
through
mil.
the top of your canopy.
Like it's minus
just
1
clipping
or
off
minus 2 millimeters of cutting height,
yeah.
and then and like, do you explain what the function of grooming is for the fanatics that don't know what grooming does?
So, on your bit of grass that grows up like that,
This is what happens
the
every time I
blade
see
comes
Levy's
through
truck.
and it makes a cut on your stem, and you'll grow another leaf off that.
Yeah.
You'll tiller another leaf off that.
Yeah.
And that's what it does. It
Sort of
goes
like
through
when
and
you
clips
trim a
the canopy.
hedge. When you trim a lily pilly,
You
it
get
tillers
divergent
out.
growth. Yeah,
Diverges out.
So-
Grooming does the same.
So it's a misnomer, or people are just using the wrong technology to say I'm grooming, and you see them scarifying. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grooming is you're just clipping the top of the leaf canopy, and that's it.
Yeah.
Verticutting is the blades are a bit thicker and a bit further apart. You're probably 10 to 15 mil apart,
Yeah.
and you're pretty much only just skimming the surface. You're just touching,
Just
going through, cutting those stolons on the surface.
You're
not
basically
really
allowing a passage through the mat of the turf,
Correct.
and then scarifying different
Scarifying,
even
you're
bang.
going subterranean.
Yep.
So scarifying, I haven't got any blades hanging around, but they're usually titanium tip sort of stuff, and
Yep.
my Scarify, which is directly down from the iPads, that you
Another
can't see
master.
it, is it'll go 50 mil deep on a cricket pitch.
Yeah, which is hefty.
Pretty insane bit of gear to
Yeah.
watch live, I reckon. I remember when were you at the Lawn Fest? Yeah, you were. When they were doing the demos with the
Yeah.
Scarifier and Verticutter side by side.
Before it got pinched. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But
That's
then
the only
when
time I ever used it.
I was there
The
with the
Verticutter.
No, our Scarifier. That's
Oh,
the only
yeah.
time I ever used it was that little demo
it
at
got
Lawn
knocked
Fest,
off
and then it
next
got
week.
knocked off.
Oh, yeah.
But I was there with the microphone trying to tell people about it, of what was going on, and I turned my back, and Lenny walks backwards with the Scarifier and trips over me, like, because I'm down, like...
I didn't go down though. I held my
But
feet.
I got tripped up and nearly got Scarified. Like, it was so...
Nah, it was on.
Here's
it was on
what
hold.
not
I know
to.
it's been.
But, like, I was down, like, showing people,
Funny-
like, if
funny
you see
stuff.
here, it's really deep, blah, blah, like, chatting away, and everyone's like, whoa, and Lenny goes, bulge! Like, it was, yeah. Lawn
And
Fest.
Lukey was on the Lukey Harrison was
Lukey.
on the Verticutter, on trying to say the difference between the one that catches and the one that we did. But we got
Pretty
both,
funny.
so it doesn't matter.
I think the decision on like what kind of renovation to do like is probably like it's assumed that you renovate at the time of year or you don't, and I think like I'd employ like anyone listening and even just the fanatics in general, like always like kind of check what your profile looks like, because if you have a problem, it's 95% of it's probably underneath in that soil
Yeah.
profile. Like just dig a hole,
Pull a
Pull
plug
the
out,
plug.
like if you got something like a golf hole change, like we did the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Just pull a golf hole out and have a look at the profile and see. It'll give you. It's like like the rings on a tree. It can show you what's happening in your soil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very.
Well, I
important.
didn't have that one, so I just literally got a square mouth shovel, boom, and took an ice cream container.
That's
That's all I
Yeah.
could do.
Yeah.
Pulled it out, sent some photos to some mates, and I was like, "What do you reckon of this?" I had roots like 150 deep, but it was real clay. And then I got the opinions I needed, put it back in the hole. I was done.
Yeah.
It was
And
like-
you can do that in
it took-
multiple areas around your lawn.
But that shows you where your thatch layer is.
Yeah.
And how deep it is and what you need to do to get rid of it. Whether a verticut's going to be okay
Yeah.
or whether you need to Scarify.
And it'll also give
thatch
you
is
answers.
not really above the surface. Thatch is. It's
Yeah, man.
not how thick your bloody.
Your mat is. No.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
different
it's
kettle
not.
of fish.
But everyone, yeah, pro pluggers are good for that. Yeah,
Yeah, where is it?
it's in the back of the ute.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not at my house anymore. I was
No.
like, do I still have
It'll
that?
inform your renovation practices for one, but it'll also tell you maybe the reason why you've got some issues.
Yeah.
Like
well,
if you're not
I mean,
draining
I can
well-
show you the photo. I could probably put the photos up later of the golf club that I'm working at. They haven't done a hard renovation in a number of years, and we're struggling with disease at the moment. And the cause of that is by and large
Yeah.
thatch.
Yeah.
And we've got thatch in a layer that's 8 to 10 centimeters thick.
Yeah.
And the golf greens are struggling.
And that's almost at the point of reconstruction or, you know, major renovation.
Major,
Yeah.
major.
What length does Wally groom his face hedge?
Well,
Mate, he shaved this morning.
Yeah.
He was clean shaven this morning.
Well, I had my face hedge trimmed yesterday afternoon. It was lovely. Feels
I don't
good.
even know. We should get the tape measure out. No.
Mine was like all that here, and my face doesn't need to look any wider this way.
I reckon it'd be like it's probably not even grooming. It's probably more like verticutting, I'd say.
Yeah.
Is how
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I comb it, which is
Yeah.
probably more verticut kind of
You
action.
should get one of them beard straighteners. If you've seen them,
Oh.
you'd be down here like you'd
Oh, I've had this trimmed twice by a barber.
today.
No.
Wally, Ben Cameron says Wally will start mentioning photosynthesis soon. Stay tuned, it's about to get good.
Pro Plugger. If you don't want to buy it off Amazon, who is it? Real Solutions. I think it's Real Solutions. Company from the Gold Coast. They import them and they can send them to you. So
Really good bit of kit.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Good
be
stuff.
borrowing yours again because I've had a big drop in my lawn, and it's going to be too much to top
think it's
dress
Real
it and
Solutions.
for it to grow through. So I'm gonna pro plug that whole area, backfill it, and then plant the plugs back in the top because it's like that much.
If you can't afford a pro plugger, there are like other cheap ways, particularly if you've got a stoloniferous grass, it's dead set out with a pair of scissors and a bucket, cut some stolons, and cut them into a length of probably 3 or 4 nodes, each little piece, screwdriver, hole, put it in, pat around it, and you do one every kind of 10 centimetres. Just keep it moist for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And that's as effective. And actually, a lot of studies show that the quickest method of growing grass in, and a lot of trials, this is how we used to grow trials in quickly, was sprigging. So it's not stolonizing, where it's like spreading it and rolling it.
I've seen that in real life now twice.
Sprigs. It's quick.
When we sprigged the Santa Ana at your old house, the way that quickly came back, and then we did out here, like, my God, that was like 70% coverage.
Well, we did the
in
Santa
like 3
Ana at
months.
the start of summer.
The timing of this was bad. The
We
timing
did
of
that
the Santa
March.
Ana
We
was
did
like
this March.
Yeah.
So it was bad.
It was bad.
Real Solutions, REEL
Yeah.
Solutions, Pro Plug, $115.
I know, like
Use it forever.
a lot of those new Zoys.
Shannon, what's a good hand tool for core aeration? You have a look at Real Solutions. They got
There's,
some
there's
stuff.
also some good
I
stuff
reckon
on
I
there.
might have the best hand tool for core aeration.
Oh.
This thing is
weapon.
archaic. I'll put a photo up on the page. It is it's 2 car disc brakes, and then it's got the cores between the disc brakes, and then a mower handle, and you push it along, and it pulls cores, but it only goes like 90 mil. Like,
Still, 90 mil is better than what you'll get from Kenner.
it's definitely it's a little bit slower than mechanical, but it's definitely quicker than the old hand puncher.
Gary Smiles, can I sprig $50 bills?
If you
I'm
can,
sure
if you
you'd
work
be the
it
one
out,
to try, mate.
Mate, you're a painter.
You're a pom.
And you're a pom.
Yep.
You've probably got a pillowcase full.
Yeah, your whole mattress. Your whole mattress is full. Don't even start.
No, start it.
Yeah.
But they're in the going over in Europe apparently
Yeah.
in some football thing.
Yeah.
Bit of criticism about the Wimbledon surface recently.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen all this?
Yeah.
Been
What's his
following?
name? That Kyrgios fellow.
Curious?
We saw that come through. I saw that come through. I think it was on the ABC. The
Serena
ABC
ruined
shared.
herself too, didn't she?
Yeah, there's
Big fall.
she had a twisted ankle or something. There's talk that she won't play Wimbledon again. She's, I don't know, going to retire or something.
Because
Well, Ash Barty is close to coming to the one she hasn't won, and if that happens,
he complained about the surface being too slow compared to what it normally has been.
But he also had a bad fall. I think he had to retire.
Yeah. Which then is like the inverse, because if the surface is hard and firm and hurts you, it generally means it's fast in turf. So there's probably like a bit of a contradiction going on there. But I think like that's probably one of the most tested surfaces in world turf grass, like sports turf.
Yeah.
They've been doing testing and research on it since the early 90s.
Yeah.
And it's all things from like ball bounce, ball skid, the right grass types to use on it,
Yeah.
right soil types.
But also, like, Wimbledon was cancelled last year, so no one played there.
Yeah.
So it's been effectively, how long since from there to this one? There's 24 months basically.
Yeah.
So he's not used to playing on that surface, so his recollection might be skewed.
Yeah.
That it's different to how it used to feel. Well, it was 2 years ago. How do you really know?
I think he's missed a fair bit of tennis though, from what
Well, he's been doing Ninja Warrior.
I don't really follow it.
Trust Wally to MacGyver and air raid.
No, mate, he didn't MacGyver it. He bought it like that. He shipped 2 bloody card disc brakes over from the US, and it cost him $1 million.
It turned up, and I was like, I could have just made this, and now I don't know. I'll put it out to the punters. Maybe we should do some Fanatics disc brake approaches.
You're going to put me out of a job, mate.
No, well,
I doubt it.
I should say that it doesn't actually replace genuine a hollow tine aeration. It is dead set. You still have to get your nice deep solids in to break the hard pan and your hollows, because it's not deep enough. But it's good for like just that like middle of summer when you don't need to aerate, just a bit of a light reno.
You just want something.
Yeah.
Who wins the Euros?
Mate, it's going to be close.
Mate, I've never watched the game. And I
Just
don't
don't.
care.
If
Well,
anyone says it's coming home,
really-
it means it's really not coming home.
Yeah, I've just been the Batuta advocate about that the other day was amazing. if anyone saw it.
Where are they?
So this is
massive.
This is technically what the final was. Italy, Spain tomorrow morning, 5:00. That technically should have been the final. Gary will disagree with me, but England, Denmark, that's going to be close. I would say that will go to penalties, probably a 0-0 draw and then penalties. But I think it should have been between Italy and Spain for the final. But
And if
it's
they
not
win,
gonna
it
be.
means that probably Australia should have won the World Cup. in
Correct,
2006.
exactly.
You know, like because they
Yeah.
dived in the box
Yeah.
falsely. That was our World Cup to win.
That's what
you
I
know?
was doing in 2006 too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Out of those, I would prefer Spain to beat Italy, I suppose. But I know a lot of my English mates will go absolutely mental if they win. But
Bloody
it's still not a
young.
World Cup, and you's all Brexited anyway, so it's not technically a win because
Italy,
you're not in the
Italy
Euro anymore.
get a goal ahead and then go tippy tappy around, and
Yeah.
they sort of give up and don't want the other team to have the ball. So
Interesting to see. What,
Yeah, did you see that old mate that went down in the box begging for the penalty,
Yeah.
and then they scored and he jumped up like nothing happened and
Yeah.
went over and celebrated the goal?
it's mate,
ridiculous.
back to Ryan HG, Route 1, straight up the guts. Gary's going home. Yeah, good on you. Off you go.
Yeah, trottle off.
He's coming next live stream.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going to come and cook us some sausages.
Is he going to tell
Oh,
a few
yeah,
guys
guys,
a few bangers?
I'll give you a lift that day because you and I live side by
He can
side.
tell a few yarns.
He would tell a few yarns.
But we'll need an interpreter.
We'll kick some tyres and we'll light some fires.
I can do that.
Yeah, we'll need you to interpret.
I can
'cause
interpret.
So
I
what he
can
means
interpret
is...
porn.
No.
you know Gary, you met Gary.
Yeah.
Interpret Scouse to English very well.
Yeah.
But
So good.
So yeah, Wimbledon, it's built to a standard, isn't it? And it's tested to a standard. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I probably just missed out on working at there, but I worked on... I did a trial.
You've done trials
for
for it,
Wimbledon, and I actually was there today talking to Carlos, who's taken my role, and they're running more trials for Wimbledon. So they're actually working out now the right profile for warm season and whether hybrid or just a natural. It's actually looking, from my understanding, that just natural turf on that kind of harder packed scenario is way better than a hybrid turf. Just the way warm season grows. Unless you can get an open enough weave on the hybrid, it just seems to get caught on the backing.
Yeah.
And if you look at the backing, like just for those punters at home, like some of the Stadia turf has like a back, like it's almost like a shade cloth backing with artificial turf in it, and then they top dress like the sand into that, and then the turf gets stolenized, and it'll grow in that, and then you cut it thick, and it gets laid, and so you have what's called hybrid turf because it's a mix between natural and artificial.
we saw that at the conference, that guy.
Yeah. So HG Turf do a lot of the hybrid turf.
Yeah.
But they're bringing out, like, I think the big challenge, and like one of the big challenges, like for a long time, is that backing is so thick that actually it almost becomes... Cool season's not so bad because it only has relatively shallow roots.
Yep.
But warm season it almost becomes like root bound on that backing. It almost like grows on it and then just follows it like weed mat. It's like when you pull cooch out of a garden on weed mat. Same thing. And so now I think they've come up with more open weave backings where the warm season, like the rhizomes can get through it.
Yeah.
So that's been half the battle. So, but interesting trials going on.
That's
Makes
another
sense.
interesting thing I picked up from Mick Sutton when he was talking about that. They went to a turf farm and there was a washout through the turf farm from the massive rains they had, and they got tough runners 1.8 meters deep through the cutout.
It's like like a creek had sort of overflowed or whatever and washed an area out, and there's the mat of tip top held together with nothing underneath it, and the roots were 1.8 meters.
I think that's
long.
the thing. Like I think we see
Unbelievable.
problems with Tiff Tough, and a lot of the problems I think we've seen have been born of overwatering. Like we've got this plant that's bred to be a survivalist.
Drought
It's supposed to be 40% less water than TIFF 419, and for mine, TIFF 419 was quite similar to wintergreen and how you're supposed to manage it.
Yep.
And so if you're giving it 40% less water than what you'd normally give wintergreen, that's not a lot. That's
No.
like the 25 mil a week in summer starts looking like 18.
Yeah.
You know, like it's you know,
Cut it back.
yeah,
Yeah.
wind
And
it
the
back.
same with nutrients as well. It doesn't need it, and that's I think a lot of people have gone wrong with their tip tuck by overfeeding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost treat it like a zoysia.
The amazing thing with cooch is it's almost like it is a survivalist plant. So like if you're on the edge of like treating it poorly, it actually goes better.
Yeah.
You end up with a better quality plant.
We got the boxing questions. Zoo versus Cinderella Man prediction tomorrow night. Well, I'm going for Stevie Spark because I'm actually born and bred Toowoomba, so I'm going for him. I
The only
actually
way-
put some bets on this afternoon because I just put first round knockout lucky punch on. That's my bet for tomorrow night.
That's the only way. If
He won't beat him on points. He has to.
if
he
Tim
has to kill
Zoo,
him.
and I'm not a boxing fan, I'm not an MMA fan. It's just not my thing. But if Tim Zoo goes in half-assed, basically,
Yeah.
and thinks it's going to go lightly, and this other guy gets a lucky punch on, that's the only way it's going to win.
I
Tim
agree.
Zoo is a
He's a very
very
technical fighter.
good fighter.
And, I just think, I just love some of the comments today, the interviews about the weigh-in and stuff. Zoo's like, oh, well, I tried to get him to fight, blah, 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 blah. And then Stevie Sparks gets on and goes, thanks very much, Shafira. Like, your loss, I'm getting a payday, suck eggs. Like, thanks very much for being a loser. It was so
He's a
good.
rapper.
Yeah, what?
Wow,
Anyway,
Yeah.
running scared because really got nothing to hide.
that's crazy.
But yeah,
Mm.
I think it'll be a good fight, but I still refuse to pay for pay-per-view for something that could technically last 10 seconds.
Mate, if you hang around and watch, someone will stream it on.
Oh, you can see it 10 minutes after the knockout. Within 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
But someone
I
will
know.
someone will live stream it like we are now
Yeah.
on their Facebook or their Instagram or
I
or
pay for a
YouTube
lot
or
of things
something.
that other people
Depends how much they're getting paid per round too. Like they could just drag it out, you know. Especially if that sports bet sign in the background is worth
X amount per round.
50 grand a round to them both.
Yeah.
Happy days, you know.
Do you water in bumper? Just ordered a bottle today.
What's the AI?
Bumper's dollar spot.
What's the Iprodime or propiconazole or something?
Oh, I'm not sure.
What's the?
Did you read the label?
Fungicide.
Big thing. Read the label. It's all there. All there. You can't talk. Your jaw's stuck together with
Yeah.
bloody thingos.
It's so addictive.
There you go.
Propiconazole.
We've got a label.
Look at this live label reading on the tubes and on the
Where are
Facebook
we?
I have a feeling.
information sheets.
I guarantee, like
Label.
you check the water rate. The water rate will give you an indication early. Yeah. Critical comments.
Critical comments. Let's be critical.
Down to turf. 12 to 24. So it's got a high water rate, 10 to 20 litres of water. So that's 1,000 to 2,000 litres of water a hectare. That's high, but most fungicides are. Spray when conditions are warm and humid. Make a second application 14 to 28 days later. So if this is your first application, make a second application. Use rates towards the lower end of the range. Use rates towards the higher end of the range and shorter intervals as a preventative or curative when treatments are highly favourable. It's not highly favourable, so use rates towards the lower end of the range.
But
That
also
would- that
saying
would
do it
lead
in
me to
September.
believe
What
Yeah, it's a foliar.
what disease are they trying to treat though? Because if it's spring dead spot, apply as a soil drench and water in immediately.
That's right. So this is where we keep talking about the labels.
Is
It's
this
so
for-
relative to what you are actually
If this
talking
is
about.
for dollar spot, it will be leaving it.
Yeah.
But if it's like a more kind of
Dead spot.
to do with your root system as
Yeah.
well, it's irrigating it in.
You right there?
That's
it's
getting
got-
sore.
yeah.
Tailbone's getting sore.
It's one of the my regular.
I just want to go
That
down
has
to
been
the
questions.
critical comments.
Yep.
Because
Dollar
I
spot.
just want to read this. Application. Where are we? Fungicide resistance. There'll be something about growth regulation here, I think.
You want me to just
Let's see
you
if I
want me to
can
find
find
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, growth. Oh, here you go. Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go. Cooch may be slow to recommence active growth in the spring, particularly in cooler regions. These effects should be allowed to grow out before treating again, because propagonazole has a growth regulatory effect on turf grass. I've seen in other labels that have propagonazole in it, it actually states that it's got a growth regulatory effect. Somewhere there'll be something about it.
So yeah, okay. So cooler regions, it'll take longer before it'll start growing again.
Yeah.
But maybe subtropical
Mm.
Queensland will be right.
So that
That'll be
answer
okay.
to that question took us a total of 8 seconds to bring up on the internet. And we went straight to a website, clicked on the label, and found that information from a question in 20 to 30 seconds. So it's on the
Read
bottle
the
and it's
label.
on the internet.
The
So
other thing is, like, you should read the
feel free to
STS.
take a photo of the label and say, I don't understand this, can someone please help me? But at least get the label out and have a look.
But please look at the STS just for personal protection, because
yeah.
you're using something that's like, this product should only be used in a well ventilated area. So when you're actually pouring it in your knapsack and whatnot,
Make sure you're outside.
protective glasses or goggles should be worn when this product is being used. Wear protective glasses or goggles. You should prevent skin contact by wearing impervious gloves, so nitrile gloves, clothes, and preferably apron. Make sure that all skin areas are covered. How many people do we see on the page putting fungicides out
Couple of ugga-duggers.
in shoes and socks? Like there's, I think that's the thing. Usually no respirator is necessary. However, if you have any doubts, consult the Australian standard mentioned above, and there's an Australian standard that you can go and look at that tells you whether you need to wear, a mask or...
Everyone's wearing masks everywhere anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'd just say, like,
wear a mask.
if it mentions it on the label, just do it. And if
Yep.
it mentions it in the STS, just do it. Because 10 years down the track, if you end up contracting the big C or something, who knows? It could be from that
Correct.
one incidence.
Mm.
And it ultimately...
EPE, that's it, Gaza. Hey Ange has asked, and its first name is Hay, last name is Ange, which is Greek, I think.
I know.
It says, hi there lads, what's your recommendation to destroy creeping oxalis? It's super annoying in Aussie blue cooch. Oh, should just go with Buffalo Pro, Buffalo Master, or Bow and Arrow. They'll do it.
Hey, Ange, I've also got Aussie Blue Cooch, and I've had this in mine, and I just went down the safe route of going, like, blending and staying with Buffalo Pro and things like that, because if you use something that can be used on other cooch grasses, blue is a whole different kettle of fish, and you will end up doing some severe damage. So, holy crap.
The other thing is, like, use a...
Gary looks like a Chernobyl resident when he's spraying. He's covered up.
I thought he said, from just the first look at it, said, I'm Chernobyl resistant when spraying. As in, like,
He
he's
probably
immune
is.
to chems.
Mate,
He's a painter.
he used to live a lot closer to it than we do.
Correct. Yep.
You ever heard of cats peeing on your lawn? If so, I believe one's doing it on mine. And what deterrent would there be to stop it? We'll get a dog. And then you only got to deal with dogweed.
I recently got a cat trap from the council because I was sick of cats pooing in my front lawn. Couldn't have been my dogs because my dogs only live out the back, but every morning, straight out my front door in my front garden, there'd be a fresh cat shit. Every time. Wasn't possum, wasn't anything. Pure cat, because I used to see him run off. And I was like, someone has trained their cat to do that. Like, anyway, I'm going to pick up the I'm going to pick up the cat trap because you can contact your local council and you can trap them, and that might be the easiest way. I don't incite doing anything harmful to the cat.
So look,
It's someone's pet at the end of the day.
It's scent
Probably.
based as well. Like I've heard of, like, using certain fertilizers that change the scent.
They
There's,
hate peppermint.
yeah,
apparently.
there's products I've seen. There's like anti-scat products that you can put down. I don't know if they work. I've never tested them before. Maybe that's worth looking into.
have you looked up on the internet cats and cucumbers?
Yeah.
Funny.
They hate them.
They hate them.
Cucumbers.
Yeah, you stick a cucumber behind a cat and they'll turn around and
They think it's like a
snake.
and that get like sense of
Maybe fake snake.
Great
Classic.
YouTube videos.
fake snake. Yeah, fake snake, try that.
Yeah. Sardines.
Sardines.
No.
No, Glenn. No, we do
Or
not.
Chris, we're not inciting that.
No, we don't
I know it's
believe
the Carpet Grass Club,
because yeah, it's all funny, but
It's someone's pet.
even cane toads have a right to live
Mm.
because the advocates message me.
Well,
And
cane toads eat armyworm moths, so
Do
the
they?
lawn grub moths.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
devour, and they like the black beetle too, don't they?
they smack
They
them.
like everything,
They're
including our native frogs.
secretly our friends. In fact, a really good indicator of having armyworm in Queensland, particularly SEQ, is if you got a heap of cane toads,
Yeah.
you've got guaranteed
Armyworm.
armyworm.
There you go.
Dead on.
Because I've seen their droppings around, and they've got a lot of shells from
Yeah,
African
black
black
beetle.
beetle in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's an indicator there. If you got cane toads, look out.
Mm.
These cats just giving me the dirtiest look. I bet they do.
Glypho can actually act as a PGR when used at low rates. Potentially yes, but it's a really bad concept from a resistance management point of view. Like if you're going out with glyphosate to control, to control your growth rate, but you're also like microdosing weeds that have short generations, like Poa annua. You can build
And they get immune
resistance.
to it,
Roundup ready Poa annua. That would be a great thing to have, and it probably actually exists from people dabbling with like silly concepts like that.
There's a label rate. There's a label. Follow it.
Correct. Ah, there you go, Chris.
Call the
Shooting it
council.
all on, what do you guys think about the Ryobi Scarify? This is similar to the Allet stuff. I haven't had a crack at one yet. If anyone has one and wants us to do a video or demo, let me know.
And
Because
we'll have a
I
go.
actually want to have a look and compare it. But I haven't
No master.
yet to it. Master.
It's not going to compare.
Lukey
to a
Harrison
Master.
would just be like, hold my beer, and just Scarify the Scarifier.
I think.
For anyone that can't afford a Momaster, it might be a good option. I don't know. I haven't had a crack, and I don't really
Well,
know
I think
yet.
it's probably okay for the
Some
person
lawn
that
types?
only does their only lawn.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're a contractor and something,
Don't.
it's just
13th beach. Ha ha ha. He's got the 26 birdie cutter as well.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's got a Scarifier as well.
I think if you like,
I don't think they're going to be suitable to some lawn types. They'll be okay with others.
I
but
agree.
not-
you
Someone
could probably
goes-
you could probably
someone
do a
goes to-
cooch lawn though.
Someone goes to
Oh,
You
but
just have to, like,
Scarify.
sculpt it down
I think
and-
longevity. Longevity.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
you might get a couple of uses out of it, and then
Yeah.
But
then
I could
it'll-
just see someone saying, I've got Sir Walter and I've never touched it except with CK88 and that's now 15 inches
Yeah,
deep.
it's not.
And then they
doable.
want to try and Scarify it with a Ryobi. It's just not going to
Yeah.
work.
I'd,
Work like,
I'd get the hedge trimmer onto it to start with. And,
try.
yeah. Sometimes even like I've seen
Remember
them 5 or 6 inches thick, and you just
Anthony's at the front?
Well,
how
well, then
spongy
he's
it was?
seen it. Like it gets sometimes like I remember running trials where like because we didn't renovate for like 2 years just because we were running that trial, I would just opt for turf cutting ahead of like and regrow from stolens from the
Yeah.
turf cut rather than even bother about scarifying or anything. So just dead set turf cut it clean, almost what they'd do on a sod farm. So like there are like tons of different ways of attacking it, I guess.
Gary's now advertising his cat's Instagram account.
Oh my god.
Check your messenger. Oh, you usually send me bad stuff. I
Glenn
don't really
Russell.
wanna- No, hasn't come through.
Yeah,
Oh, here he
that's
comes.
probably right. Couldn't imagine it going through thick kike. Yeah.
I don't think so either. But, like I said, if anyone wants, if they've got one, let me know and I'll come and review it for the Fanatics so I can
Yeah.
pass on the
I think those,
info.
the ones that generally have the, like it's almost like a spring.
Yeah, the wire ones?
Yeah. Can't see them lasting too long over time. That's Gary, Glenn's lawn. It's possibly a cat.
No
Have
idea.
you got like security cameras or something?
I've got dogs and they do that on the Grange and it's just a function, like it's slow time. I feel like if if I can baby it through, it comes summer, I reckon I'll recover all those dog marks.
Mate,
Yeah.
mine's the opposite, right? And I think it's just because my lawn has always just had so much nitrogen in it
Yeah.
that the nitrogen from the wee, I get bright dark green spots where my dogs wee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does the polar opposite, but I think it's because my lawn, it's always got so much nitrogen flowing through its veins.
Yeah.
From the days of before I was a fanatic and before I listened to experts, I was a CK88 and dynamic lifter fiend.
Peter Wallace, he's always late to the party.
Yeah.
Always late.
Yeah.
We've already spoken about Dollar Spot twice.
Yeah.
Everyone's got it.
Everyone's got Dollar Spot, bro. There are a couple of things you can do. Propiconazole.
Dew, whipping,
Get rid of the dew in the morning. Get out there with a broom and
light feeds with nitrogen to bring you out.
Don't
foliar
say it,
feeding with
don't say it.
nitrogen. Not granular. You won't get much uptake.
And you can
what else
feed
you
it
do?
out.
Yep. Potassium silicate.
Matty,
as well.
Hey, Holly. He's had this. He's got an issue with his. Got an issue with his turf.
Oh, mate. Don't you don't.
Which part of the 80 acres, 80 hectares, have this often? Some lawns get dead spots. Some get super green.
that's what I was saying with mine.
Where are you guys? Hey, Ange. Well, there we go.
Hey, Ange.
He's in Brizzy. So are we. We're at Mount Gravatt, Cleveland,
Cleveland.
and where are you? Salisbury.
Yep.
So yeah, we'd be keen to have a look. And we'll run it
PM,
against the
DM,
Bowmaster.
whatever, instant message us and we'll come
We'll
and
look
have
it
a
out.
look. Andrew, if you're keen.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That way at least we can give the right advice.
That means I need to change the blades on the Bowmaster. It's due. It's due.
Road test.
Yeah, it's due.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pete, there's a couple of things you can do. If you really want to spray it, give me a yell, I'll come and do it.
Yep.
You guys should cuddle for warmth. Well,
It's got-
we started the blow heater, but we might have put too much power through the board and turned everything off.
Yeah, and we couldn't have that.
And we couldn't have
risk
that,
it.
so we, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's all right. It's not that bad. Cool.
Steve-
Cooperoo. Yeah, beauty. Let's
Oh,
line
sweet.
something up.
Yeah, sweet. Steve Moo, you should be here cuddling, but you chose to go to a 10th birthday party instead. Next one to come and visit us,
Is Gary.
Steve Moo.
Oh, and ScoMo.
Yeah, hopefully, but he wasn't golfing tonight on his ex-golf or whatever he does.
Well, he should have come here.
I know, but he went to a 10th birthday party instead. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
well, that'd be. Oh, he's clearly chosen fairy bread over.
I
us.
know. We had. You
Minus
missed out.
3.6
We had a
this morning.
spread.
Mate, it was 8 degrees here this morning. I was freezing my bum off.
Mm.
You can message Angie, you can message myself, you can message Gibbo, or you can message
Will.
Will. So
Wally.
Lenny, Gibbo, or Wally. Doesn't matter. I'll message.
Whoever.
I'll message you. Yeah. All right. Message. Message.
Nice lawn.
Hi.
There you
Ping.
go. There you go. Done.
Done. That is a nice lawn. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
It's a nice lawn.
What kind of lawn is it?
Green.
Yeah, nice.
Aussie Blue Cooch.
I actually
Classic.
said that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
Aussie Blue in the Redlands. That's like a...
Yeah.
Nah, Cooperoo.
Oh, it's close enough.
Yeah. I'm
Close
the
enough to
Redlands.
Red. You're in the Redlands.
Yeah.
Well, he's got Aussie Blue in the Redlands.
Yeah.
That's where you went all twice.
Classic.
Yeah,
That's where it got
sweet.
PBR'd. Stayed home.
Mm.
A lot of grasses in Australia got PBR'd in that place. In the
At
Redlands.
the research centre.
Yeah.
Because there's some of the, that's where the, was Sir Walter tested there?
Yeah, it would have gone through there.
One of
Pretty
the,
much
one of the
every-
other Sirs is
Every
there as well, isn't
commercial
it?
grass until probably, well, even things like AgriDark and that got tested there. TivTuff didn't, but pretty much everything we now know was tested, like PB, like the Plant Breeders' Rights got, Matty Roach did, who runs Turf Finder, did a lot of that work there.
Because there's still one of the other Sir somethings,
Yeah,
buffaloes there, isn't there?
yeah, Sir James.
Sir James, yeah. That's
The one that never was. It was too posh for the market.
To poach.
Too posh.
too posh.
Sir James.
Sir James.
Really?
So they've gone with Sir Wally.
Mommy.
instead.
Mommy.
Okay. All right, so we're getting close to 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll tie it up in a couple of minutes. If you've got any more questions, and like non-turf related is our specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-turf related is my specialty.
Sir
I just
Lancelot.
listen. Gary, quit the pom. Quit the pomminess.
Yeah.
Should be Sir Trevor.
So Trev. I think it's Trev.
Walter and Trevor.
Yeah, Kev.
Kevy said Kevy.
Sir Kev.
Kevy Walter.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, so how long's he going to last?
Well, if the
he's here to
Broncos
stay.
play like they're supposed to, you don't know.
He's inherited a mess.
He's turning them
Oh,
around.
that's right. Benny Ikin's in there, and obviously wielding the axe is just absolutely awesome. I'm
Which
happy with that.
needed to happen though. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. The best thing ever is they got rid of old mate Nolan and
I love-
stopped the managers having the wheeling dealing
Well,
rights.
actually, they say, the head of footballs and coaches and things shouldn't sit on the benches and that, but Ben Ikin was there on the bench, just eyeballing every player out there, looking for intent. It's what it needs. It's what every team needs when it's like that.
For sure.
So
And
they
I
picked-
think he secretly just wanted to be field level
Broncos
at a
with the
game.
spoon.
Yeah.
Never, not a chance. The way the doggies got flogged the other night was worse than any flogging that we've had.
We're on the way up. We're off the canvas now.
Hmm.
We're started.
That's right.
Off the can.
We got an easy run now.
Yeah.
What are you playing the West Tigers on the way?
No,
We're making the 8.
we've got a tough run.
Hey, if we win all our next games.
Well, the Dragons aren't going to make the 8 now, are they? So.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
There's another one out of our way. No.
This week is the bye round.
Perfect. We've won that one.
Yep, we win that one.
Jeffro fires up when we talk about the Broncos. Leave Kevin Lane.
Oh, we do. Broncos, West Tigers,
Yes.
Yeah, next week.
They about time. When is it next week?
round 18. So it's on
Mate.
this
So basically the Tigers are
2
going
weeks
to
from
buy.
now. Yeah.
This is a full buy round.
Yeah, well,
Nah.
it is for the Tigers if they're playing the Broncos.
Then we've got Panthers away.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
No, but that's
Easy
a
win.
weekend Panthers.
Then Broncos, Cowgirls.
They could get more injuries in Origin.
Then Broncos, Knights.
That's doable,
Then
maybe.
Broncos, Roosters.
Oh,
No, Roosters aren't going that well, but Knights
Then
pumped
Broncos,
Canberra on the
Warriors. There you go.
Roosters are one team who have been punished by injuries this year.
weekend. I know.
They really have.
It was bound to happen though.
Good.
They had such
Almost
a good
feel sorry
run.
for them,
Good.
but not quite.
Yeah.
You know what I did notice the first time ever is when Tedesco is getting beaten, he is a sook. I've never seen someone get so sooky when they're getting beaten in my life. He was up to the ref crying all night.
He learned that at the Tigers.
Yeah,
I think some people are good winners, but they're horrible losers.
Yeah, Tedesco.
I know.
Well, they're just competitive.
Mm.
How do you treat fungus on frangipani leaves?
That's rust normally.
Is it
Frangipanis
rust?
get rust
They do
in the
get
cooler
rust.
times of year.
Send us a photo.
It'll be rust, guaranteed. And you just don't. They generally just grow out
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
summertime. There's
We-
not much you can do.
We used to just snip the affected leaves off, even if it took everything back off the tree. Put it in a bag, don't let it touch the soil, anything like that. Like snip it
Yeah.
off into a bag, totally take away the tree, and then they'd grow new leaves and it would be fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't ever spray it with anything.
You can just send us a photo, Ange, and we'll have a look at it.
You're in the DMs now, Andrew,
Not, not now, because
right? We're about to pack it up.
it's dark. Don't go outside and take photos in the dark, doesn't work. And yeah, so 2 weeks' time we've got Gary coming. He's promised to cook sausages for us.
Snags. And we're going to do like a
Snags.
Gary's kitchen. Like he's going to... Is it going to be like Ready, Steady, Cook? Like
Well,
on the...
Yeah, might have to work out some way of getting an exhaust fan in here. Otherwise,
We needed one in here this afternoon after Lenny's lunch. I can
surely
tell you.
Maymaster. We could just put a mower on the side, and it'll just suck it
Yeah.
out. Electric mower. Too.
are you going to lift it up?
That electric one, that's light. Just put it on its side.
Well,
that
bushy.
one, yeah, I'm not sitting next to that. That's running.
Zero
Oh, she-
emissions.
Oh, she's already sending me photos.
Here you go, you're on.
Look at that later. No.
Just go straight back.
Straight into it. And burgers if he wants. Oh, yeah, right, Yeah, bring some burgers, man. Yep. There's
Burgers.
there's 3 kids and a missus upstairs, Gary, if you want to feed them.
And 2 corgis.
And two corgis and another
And
one.
a gibbo. So that's 3.
And a gibbo and a wally. So bring like about 5 kilos of meat.
Yeah. Well, you can see by the spread here we got. Shell cooked us dinner tonight. Watch
No,
it,
Jonah
legend.
cooked taco
Oh
pie.
yeah, taco
Oh.
pie was good.
Yeah, he doesn't bring it out very often. When he does, it's bloody sensational.
was
And
good.
the chips were
That was
Yeah, go
up
with
there.
But it's the sauce.
It's the Dutch curry sauce.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
You haven't lived until you've had that.
Yeah, so it's that joint at Capella Bar. I don't even know what it's called. Some Dutch shop at Capella Bar.
If
Because
I
Shell
went-
used to live in Holland. She lived there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
She speaks
yeah.
a bit of clog.
Bit of
So-
clog.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could spray that on your lawn. It's that good. Probably work.
Take some to the bloody golf club, spray the creams.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
cool. All right. Well, we might wrap it up there.
Yeah. Hour and a half, a good session.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you very much for tuning in. Not a lot going on in winter, but we'll persevere. We'll keep going. And
Yeah. Well, this is bloody awesome. We're
Yeah.
still getting through a lot of information.
yeah.
So-
So what else? We got. Gila and I sat down and started working out our competition calendar for spring/summer, which is usually pretty busy. If you're representing a company that wants to be involved in the Fanatics and wants to do a competition, then message myself or Gibbo on the Insta, on the
On the
Facebook,
gram.
or whatever, and we'll have a chat and work something out. Because our calendar is starting to fill up.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of prizes to give away, a lot of competitions
Tons.
to run.
There's a lot going on
There's
in
a
the
lot
background.
going
you
on.
guys
It's
don't
all
see.
happening. Get
It's
him up
all-
here.
And we are talking to a company about doing a Bledisloe Cup type scenario against the Kiwis. So
Mm,
Yeah, good.
that could
Yep.
be good.
could be good.
Massive.
So,
All right.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. We'll
Thanks,
catch you all in
guys.
2 weeks'
See
time
ya.
from now. Adios, amigos. 2 weeks is the 20th of July. 20th. That sounds familiar for something.